If you've been looking for an entry-level accountant role here in the UK, you might have come to realize one of two things. The first one is that most employers will typically require that candidates should have at least 1 to 2 years working experience. And the second one is that there'll usually be some requirement to have candidates who can actually hit the ground running and get that job done to a high enough standard. Now, bear in mind that this does not apply to all employers. You will still find out that there are some employers out there who realize that most people who have just only completed their degree or their college degree will not have the necessary experience that they are looking for to get that entry-level accountant role. So what do you do then if you are in the position where you have not been able to maybe secure a graduate accountant role or an internship or a placement of some sort to give you that working experience? What are your options when it comes to entry-level accountant roles? Now, I'm going to be suggesting some key options that I think are very, very good entry-level accountant role for anyone who is looking to get their foot in the door when it comes to looking for accounting and finance jobs here in the UK. Now, depending on the size of the firm, you'll find that many employers will typically recruit recent graduates, right, to train them up to be chartered accountants. But what if you're in a situation where you are not in that category? What are your options? What are some of the best entry-level accounting roles that you can typically start to focus on in a hope to actually get on the career ladder and start your journey into accounting? Now, I'm going to be going through a couple of these, so do make sure you watch the video till the end, because at the end of this video, I'll also be sharing with you where I think you can get started to actually applying for some of these roles. Now, the first role is accounts receivable. Now, accounts receivable is a very good entry-level position in accounting. And I think this is so because though it's one part of accounting, right, it's a very important part of accounting. It's a part that deals with how money is actually coming into the organization. So some of the tasks that you might find that you're dealing with might include things like raising customer invoices, reconciling customer accounts, and also dealing with any issues and queries that relate to things like invoices and billing, etc. So it is definitely a key area of accounting, and I would definitely suggest that if you're someone who is looking to get started in accounting, this is a role that you might want to try and focus on as a potential entry-level role to get you started. The next role I would highly recommend for those who are seeking entry-level accounting roles is going to be accounts payable jobs, okay? And accounts payable jobs would usually require that you are able to do tasks that include but is not limited to, raising purchase orders, processing invoices, processing payments, for instance. And some of the skills that you will require for this might include you having good time management skills, good communication skills, and also being very good with your analytical skills. It's important to note that from experience, what I found is that many people who actually advertise for accounts payable roles will typically tend to require that candidates can come either with their GCSEs or with very minimal experience. So again, I think from my experience, this is going to be a good way for you to get your foot in the door and actually start your journey in accounting. Next role I would highly suggest is going to be accounts assistant, also sometimes referred to as an accountant assistant. Now, typically this type of role would involve you being involved in, budgets, looking at invoices, and also just in general being very familiar with the accounting records and transactions of the organization. Another remarkable thing about taking on the role as an accounts assistant or an accounting assistant is that you'll typically find that the role itself combines a great mix of both accounts payable and also accounts receivable. So this combination helps remarkably with actually building your skills and your experience, when it comes to you solidifying gain that finance experience to help you actually then progress into much higher, well-paid accountant jobs in the future. So in my experience, these are 3 key roles that I would highly recommend to anyone who is looking for entry-level accountant roles and they're not sure as to where and how to get started. Now, it's important to understand that with any accounting role you take on, recruiters will generally be looking for you to showcase to them that you have a nice blend of both technical skills and soft skills. Now, it's very, very important that you take some time to actually look through, the job description, the job specification of each of the roles that you're applying for and see that you're able to meet those requirements as much as possible. Now, in this video here, I share a variety of different websites that I think are great for those who are looking for entry-level accountant roles here in the UK. Now, talking about finance skills, I've also made a video here where I spoke about some of the high-paying finance skills that can really help you when it comes to increasing your salary as an accountant here in the UK. Click here to watch it now.